Hello everybody, my name is Mapule M and this is Edify. Every encounter is substantial and the purpose of this show is to motivate you, to uplift you and to make a difference in your life. So today I have the guest with me. I want her to introduce herself. Murati, please tell us who you are.
Hello, my name is Murati Sitabela. I'm a 34-year-old mother of two. Also in the communication industry. I work in government. I'm a deputy director where I work.
Health is wealth. So that's very important, right? Because it all starts in the mind. And I just want you to tell us about your story after you had your first child. What happens? Because there's some pictures that we'll show you in a minute where she had her first child and she was overweight, right?
Yes.
So tell us about that part of your life.
Well, that was like the scariest part of my life. I'm not a slender person.
Okay.
But I cannot say that I have been obese or that fat.
Right.
Well, that big. I don't know if I should be using the word fat.
Right.
But the turning point was when I had my first baby. When I was pregnant with him, I ate everything and anything that I could find, because remember there's that mentality that when you're pregnant you just eat because you're eating for two.
That's what I'm thinking, that it had a lot to do with the belief system and you know, some of the traditions in our culture.
We're eating for two.
Yes.
Yeah, but when I was pregnant, I think I was a size 40, 42.
Right.
Yeah, and I ate Russian every day when I got to work. That was one of.
Wasn't that a craving?
Well, yeah, it was a craving. It was a craving, but we'll get to that part because I'll tell you about the part where I was expecting my second child.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. With my first child, obviously, like I'm saying, I was craving Russian every day. And my turning point for me, when I realized that now I've damaged my body, was after giving birth.
Okay.
I gave birth via cesarean.
Okay.
For both my kids. So usually what happens is that the first day you're not allowed to move. You're not even allowed to go to the loo.
Okay.
So the second day when I went to the loo, so when I stepped out of bed, putting my foot down on the floor, like I felt something.
Sure.
And I was like,
what was that?
Well, it's called FUPA.
Okay.
That's
what it's called.
Yes, it's excess meat.
Okay.
Just here, you know.
Okay.
Yes, on the abdomen. So when I stepped on the floor, it moved. It
by
moved.
itself. It had a life of its own.
By itself, throwing back to the loo, and I was like, oops. What is this? Like, I was so traumatized. I don't want to lie. I was like, looking at myself in the mirror, I could not believe what I saw. I was so huge.
I can't imagine.
Yes. So what happened is, after I think it was 2 months, 8 weeks exactly 8 weeks after giving birth,
right,
I decided that I'm going to jog.
Right.
By myself. I just went out on the streets.
But the question is, who was the motivation, or what was happening? Because everything starts mentally, you know. The minute you get to that point, you saw that excess skin, and what were you saying to yourself?
The motivation was what I saw in the mirror.
Okay.
Because I was like, I've always been a size 32, 34.
Who is this new woman?
I was like, who is this woman? I did not like what I saw in the mirror. I don't want to lie.
And how many months was it after you had your child?
Exactly 8 weeks, 2 months.
Yeah, you're very hard on yourself, hey?
It had to be done. And remember, I don't know who came up with that, or maybe, I'm not sure. But remember, people believe or were told that when you give birth via cesarean, you have to be like, you have to sit for like 4 months or whatever, 6 months, without doing anything strenuous or whatever, you know. But I was like, no, I'm not gonna do it. It was painful, I don't want to lie, but I took it easy because I think I ran for about 4 kilometers, 5 kilometers.
Sure.
Yeah.
After 2 weeks having a baby.
No, not 2 weeks, 2 months. 2 months.
Yeah, 2 months after having a baby.
I took to the streets.
Okay.
I took to the streets. I ran, and then I think after a month or so, I could run about 8 Ks, and then after a month, after about 2 months taken to the city, I think I was able to do about 10 Ks. But you know what that did for me?
No.
I hear people saying that when you have like an operation on your body, when it's cloudy outside or when it's very cold, I don't know, they experience problems or whatever.
Yeah, they say they cramp and all
I
sorts
have
of things.
never experienced that in my life.
Okay.
And I think it's due to exercise.
Sure.
It's due to the decisions that I've taken.
So it's very important that we don't just hear people say certain things from their experience and take those things and put them in your belief system and believe something that you haven't experienced.
I have never experienced anything like that. It could be cloudy, it could rain, it could be whatever. Extremely cold outside. I don't have any side effects from my operation.
Wow. So how long? Because obviously that was a new journey that you began, because you're saying that you ran by yourself.
Yes.
It takes a lot to do things like that. So that tells me that you're very strong-willed. Ne? And what were you eating?
Well,
at the time?
At that time, I don't want to lie, I was eating the same things that I was eating before I fell pregnant.
Okay.
But then I think about after some time I began to do research on the internet on what should we eat if you want to lose weight and whatnot.
Okay.
And I started by not eating pap every day.
Okay. How many times were you eating it? Because some of us
every day.
Grew up with pap and we loved it.
I grew up with pap as well.
Exactly.
I ate it every day.
Okay.
But
so
then,
you stopped and reduced too?
And I used to love Gota.
Hey.
So I the word. I began by cutting those. I began by cutting junk food. I began by eating pap when I'm craving it, not every day. So, well, even my husband and my kids are used to it now. We eat veggies and meat, protein.
I was about to ask about that because the transition in the house where you used to eat pap every day, and obviously with your husband, he's accustomed to those types of meal. What kind of conversation do you have with him to say, baby, I'm changing my lifestyle and we will not be eating pap?
Let me tell you, baby's now running on by himself. Like when I go to gym, he takes on the streets, like he jogs as well. He has adopted that lifestyle as well.
Wow, that's good.
My 3-year-old baby would wake up and go take dumbbells. Say, Mom,
no, I like that a lot.
So they've adopted that in the house.
It's a good lifestyle. Yes, I think you exude that beauty, and obviously you radiate. So that energy is very contagious.
They have adopted that. So obviously, because I'm the one who's cooking in the house, whatever that I eat, they would want to eat as well. They would want to experiment. When I eat like Greek yogurt and nuts, my son would want to taste it. Everybody will, it's like that now. They do what I am doing.
Wow.
They emulate, especially the kids. They like emulating us, so they do that as well.
They will mirror us as young as they are.
Yes. So my second child, the 3-year-old, is he snacks on carrots.
Okay.
He likes veggies. I have a difficulty with the firstborn, but this one, the second one, is he likes healthy stuff.
Okay, so I want to speak about the part where you said you took on the street. Did you go to the gym?
No,
or did you only start going to the gym later on?
I did not have a gym membership. I did not sign up for a gym membership after my maternity leave.
Right.
With the first child. So where I used to work, there was a gym, like a small gym.
Okay.
So I went there. I exercised there for about, I think, 3 years or so.
So there was no personal trainer.
Even the colleagues were not utilizing the gym. I would sometimes, I used to call it my own gym because I would exercise alone. So what I would do for my cardio for like 3-4 years, if I'm not mistaken, I would start by running the stairs up to 12th floor, from ground up to 12th floor, maybe about 5 times or 6 times. When I have a lot of energy, I'll do it 7 times and then go into the gym. I would be at work at around 6:30, and then exercise until 7:30 to 8, and then I'd go to the showers because there were showers in the ladies, and then I would start work.
Wow. So basically, you're trying to say that this transition didn't happen overnight, ne?
It did not.
It was a very lengthy process, if you ask me, that you don't just get chubby and ripped in 3 weeks.
Yes.
That doesn't happen. How long does it take?
You know what? When you start your exercise routine, and if a person is mentally ready, it could take that 8 weeks, 2 months.
Are you serious?
Yes. If you tell yourself you're changing your diet, you are committing to gym, you are guaranteed to see results after 8 weeks.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So,
but I'm not saying that the ripped effect or whatever. But
yeah, I'm speaking about the ripped.
To see the difference, it could take that 8 weeks, and then going forward, then yeah. But it depends on the person. It depends how hard you train. It depends on the type of exercise that you do as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the thing that really affects a lot of people, I think it has a lot to do with diet. Ne? What are you eating, Morati?
Well,
okay, let's start with breakfast. What did you have for breakfast?
Well, usually now, because I've started lifting weights, with breakfast I would have oats.
Okay.
I'd have oats, or I'll just have black coffee.
Okay.
Before going to the gym,
and then after gym to boost your energy.
Yes.
Okay.
After gym, I'll have eggs, avocado, tuna.
Okay.
I don't have bread for breakfast.
Oops. Okay.
I don't.
So
sometimes I will have like a slice of brown bread with peanut butter in the morning before going to the gym.
Yeah.
But then afterwards I'll just have that, or I'll just have Greek yogurt with nuts. That's what I have.
And then for lunch?
Or I'll just have a protein shake for breakfast. Like today I just had a protein shake.
Okay.
For lunch I would have your salad and chicken breast.
Okay.
Or fish or steak. But what I do is that I make sure that my every meal has protein.
Okay.
That's
what's the reason for that?
It helps with weight loss.
Okay.
It helps with maintenance of muscles as well.
Because I've heard a lot of people speak about how important it is to eat things that have healing properties in them as well. Because you know the thing about gym, looking ripped is good, but the pain, nobody ever speaks about that. There are cramps, there are pains, there are knee injuries, there are all sorts of things.
I'm in pain as we speak, because yesterday was leg day. Obviously we were squatting. I was squatting 90 kilograms, so it's
90.
Yes.
Okay, you're at that point.
Yeah, I'm at that point. There are days when you have to take an ice bath.
Right.
Because you had such a hectic session. Ooh. Your knees are in pain. It is painful.
Yes.
It is painful.
It is.
But then the results are very good as well.
Because you want to get into a store and buy whatever that you want, because it will just fit like a glove. That's very fulfilling, by the way.
It's very fulfilling.
Yeah.
And you know what? When you spoke about the transformation and how long it takes, I want to talk about this. When I started exercising, well, I used to run a lot. I used to do a lot of cardio. But you know what? I was what I call skinny fat.
Okay.
I had lost weight, but I was not toned.
Okay.
I did not have definition.
Okay.
Because of the kind of exercise that I was doing.
Right.
But then I discovered weightlifting.
So please take off your top. We want to see the work that you have done on your hands and your tummy. I mean, stand up for us, please. Pella, this is a problem area for most women and guys. It's not just for women, ne?
Yeah.
So how did you get it to be this flat?
Well, like I said before, it's about what
you can sit down.
we eat.
I just wanted them to see.
It's about what we eat. Yes. You need to know your body. You need to make the right choices. Like I was telling you, I used to love quota, pap, and whatever. But then I've realized that when I'm eating those the kind of foods, the pap and the quota, obviously you'll be bloated, you'll gain weight and whatever. But then I've made a choice to eat the right kinds of carbs.
Okay.
You'd eat your broccoli, you'll eat your beans, you'll eat your lentils, your pumpkin, your sweet potatoes. That's the right kinds of carbs.
And the other thing, while you're still speaking about carbs, I think with most people it's very challenging because we don't know how to really cook this type of food? I think that's the part where it gets difficult to prepare them. So when you prepare your food, is it just salt, season it a bit, and then boil, and then that's it? Because we love flavor, we love spicing, you know.
I mean, well, when you're speaking about salt, I was not using salt, I was using herbs. But then I started to experience cramps when I'm exercising, and I was told to use salt, the sodium, just a bit of sodium in my food.
That's very important.
Yeah, but then obviously people cook with fat, a lot of fat, you know, spices and whatnot. Like, keep it as simple as possible. I know the food will taste a bit blunt, but that's the right kind of food.
But the other thing as well, I've seen, because I use a lot of the oven these days.
Yes.
It's a very good way to cook it.
Yes.
Roasting.
Roasting, grilling. Yes, it's a very good.
Okay, and then the other thing that I wanted to speak about in terms of women becoming too masculine, because I think that's also a fear of mine, you know. When I work out certain bodies or when we pick up heavy weights, I don't want to look like a man. Okay, so how do we prevent that from happening? Because there are muscles, there's certain muscles, when they get too big, it's not feminine anymore. And I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder. I just want to be toned. You know?
There you have your answer. You're not trying to be a bodybuilder.
Right.
For you to get that bulky and whatever, you have to have they are on a very strict diet, these people.
Okay.
Like, they cut carbs completely.
Okay.
They eat egg whites. You know, they are on a strict diet when they are competing. For them to become that ripped, you have to be on a very, very strict diet. So you won't be like that because you won't be on that diet. And you have to know your body, as you say. Myself, I know my upper body develops very quickly.
Okay.
So I don't lift that heavy when I'm doing my upper exercises.
Your upper body. Okay.
Yes, but when I do my legs, I go very heavy.
Why?
But
What's
then
the reason for that?
Because that's where I gain weight.
Okay.
Yes, my weight is on my lower body.
Okay, so that's the technique you use. So if I have a, because I think my upper body, you and I are totally opposite.
Yes.
So you lift harder where you need to remove the fat.
You just make sure that, remember, you just said that you don't want to be very bulky. Yes. You can lift very light and do more reps.
Okay.
It works wonders as
Okay,
well.
so light. Because the other problem area, can you please just stand up so I can just show people? Like when you turn around, how do we get rid of this? You know, there are these. Ish, that's a
What do
big
you call
problem,
it?
eh?
The love handles or
Love handles, muffin tops, whatever you want to call them. That's a very difficult part to get
you
rid
do
of.
Russian twists, you do sprints,
Okay.
you walk on the treadmill on an incline.
Okay.
Yes. You know what? The other thing is I hardly do crunches. Maybe that's why I don't have, like, you know, I don't do crunches. But you know what? Squats works wonders for the tummy. They work wonders for the tummy.
Sure. Yeah, no, this has been very intriguing. We thank you very much. And for the people that are watching, where do we find Morati? You know?
On Instagram it's Miss Morati.
Right.
Facebook is Morati Sitabela.
Yes.
And you can also search for the Fitness Honey's page on the Facebook.
Okay.
Request to join and I'll accept you.
Okay, so Fitness Honey.
It's just for the ladies, by the way. No guys are allowed. But anyway, I screen them first. So we have about 200 and something members. So what I do
Why
is
do you
that
screen? What are you looking for?
No. Especially I don't want males.
Okay,
you know, I
you
don't want males.
males.
And I have questions like, what is it that you're trying to gain? You know, what are you looking for? So some people will just do it for the benefit of just joining. You know, they don't have a reason why they want to join. So what I do is that I post daily motivations,
right,
exercises, and people who have like questions, they will just post questions there, and then I'll answer to the best of my ability. But then I would tell them sometimes that, guys, remember, I'm not a dietitian, just maybe ask a professional person.
Using your experience.
I'm just using my experience. Yes, and now I'm organizing a boot camp for the ladies. Okay. That's why that's where I want to like do fitness events. Okay. Just to motivate ladies and just to have fun while we're at it.
We learned a lot about diet. So it is true, 80% diet, 20% exercise. So this is Mapule M again, and every encounter substantial. Thank you for tuning in. We enjoyed our time with Murati over here. We hope that you learned as much as you can, because the purpose of the show, like I said, is to uplift and to motivate. And if we did that for you today, well, we've done our part for the day. Thank you. Goodbye.